4 tips for more creative paintings. First, take inspiration from your dreams. And this won't work for everybody because not everybody has the super vivid dreams. This can work really well, but I recommend you keep a dream journal. If you're going to do that, have something, or even your phone, just something next to your bed that you can write down, jot that down really quick, because it is very common. By the time you're completely all the way awake, you've probably forgotten a lot of your dreams, but that can give you some really bizarre, because if you're like me, there are some bizarre dreams, that can give you some ideas for creativity. And it's not like you have to paint the whole scene from your dream, but you can kind of build on that. The second tip, when you're getting into surrealism and something that's just super creative feeling, combine unexpected elements, things that don't go together. Write down a bunch of different words, different objects, different animals, plants, just different things. Throw them into a bag or a mason jar or something and pull out 3 of those. They don't have to have anything to do with each other. It could be a fork, a hairbrush, and I don't know, a porcupine. How are you going to make those things fit into one painting? Or a river, an underwater scene with a porcupine and a fork. Make that happen. You can get just by pulling these random things. I mean, that is something that is really the core of a lot of surrealism. It's just weird crap thrown together that makes no sense, but you as an artist are going to figure out how to make that work. And it's really just a collage of weird things. Like, simplify the concept of these crazy ideas, because I know I've done that. I see these paintings that people have done and it's like, how did you even think of that's incredible? But if you look at it more as abstract, just a collage of things, that can make it a lot easier to come up with some of these things. But the core of the idea there is just put things together that don't fit together. Third, use symbolism in your work, symbolisms and metaphors. Now, this can get complicated. I tried this once and I went back and I'm like, well, historically, a candle could symbolize this and that. Who cares? It doesn't matter what historically something symbolized. What does something symbolize to you? Do you see a candle and it makes you think of a certain holiday? It makes you think of a certain feeling, a certain mood. If you see something, like, it doesn't have to be a historically accurate level of symbolism. It can be that, but it could also just be, I want to create something with a specific mood. What are things I think of with that mood? What are things, maybe it's a smell. You know how smells will make us associate something from the past? You can build on that idea. How do you paint a smell? I don't know. How would you display a smell visually? Like, these are the things you want to think of, these weird, crazy things that don't have to make sense. But symbolism and metaphors are a really cool thing to start building on, especially if you're wanting to just say something with the art. You're in a mood, a specific mood, good, bad, whatever, and you want to express that. Trying to think of elements that just bring that feeling out more to you. The last tip is play with scale and perspective. One of the things that gives you that weird kind of creepy feeling, not that surrealism has to be creepy, but one of the things that will give you that weird feeling of, wow, that's odd, that's different, is the scale and perspective being off. And now this is an important thing, because I've seen people do this where their scale and perspective was off, but it didn't look intentional enough. If you are going to do that, you wanted intentional, not slightly off because you didn't draw very well. There is a very big difference between, I just didn't do a good job drawing this, and I intentionally made this building curve. Like, you want to be intentional when you're going to do something like that, because it is very easy to be too subtle and it just looks like you didn't do a good job. So again, if you're going to go with the perspective and the size thing, make it obvious. One of the things that I like so much about doing things like this, where you're combining, so we go back to tip 2, combining unexpected elements. I did a painting of a flamingo and he has an octopus. So the flamingo standing in water, an octopus is coming out and kind of wrapped around his legs, and there's moths there. It was really cool watching people's reaction to that painting at a show recently. I had one couple, they bought it, and he was telling me, the first thing he said when he walked up, I don't know if that's really cool or really creepy. I'm like, I won. I just won. That was my goal there. Like, I love that concept of somebody looks at it and they have a feeling about it, or confusion. Creating confusion in their emotions. That's great too. That you know you did something pretty creative when you can cause confusion for somebody like that. That combination of things that didn't go together that made the person go, like, stop and really look, like, wait, what's going on here? What's happening? So those are just fun ways that you can come up with more creative paintings.